What's up, guys? It is Sunday, and it is about 2:30 in the afternoon. I have to go take care of something real quick before Steve! Say hello to YouTube, Steve.
Hello, YouTube.
I'll get back to you guys in a minute. All right, and I'm back. That was my buddy Steve. I've known him almost as long as I've been in Siem Reap. I think a couple weeks in is when I met him. It was at a group setting. If you remember, early on I did a video about the river cleanup when a couple weeks after I got here. I got involved with that. And that's where, and I met him through that event. I see him around town every so often. He's been kind of quiet on social media. I wasn't sure what had happened to him because he had been talking about moving back to China. He lived for a long time in China. And maybe he said he's going back to the UK for a couple weeks. So wish him all the luck. He does have a nice new bike though. He bought a new motorbike. So that's good. Anyway, the skies are not looking good for this walk. And it is sprinkling, so of course Thinglai's got the umbrella just in case. I actually remembered to bring it this time. I have a new post on the Road to 1000 website. You can go ahead and read that if you want. I'm still having the same issue with my update page. I'm trying to update the amount. That is the only page on my website that will change in the editor but won't change on the actual page. I don't know why. I even deleted it completely and just redid the whole thing. And that seemed to work for a day, but then today when I went to update it again, to update the amount toward our goal, again, it wouldn't change. It's still sitting at the original amount, and it's driving me crazy. So if you go to that page to get an update, keep in mind it's probably not going to be correct until I figure out why it's doing it. It shows up fine in my editor. Even before you click on the article, if you go to the home page and look at the updates page, it'll have the correct amount written on there, but when you go to click on the whole article, it reverts back. I just don't know about that website stuff to know what's going on, so I'll just give you updates here. We are up to 175, and that is awesome. The first 4 students from that amount are going to be in class after. What are you doing? What is she doing? She's grabbing my shirt. There was a string on my shirt. She decided to grab it and pull it off. But yeah, they're going to be starting after the holiday here at the end of the month, Chumben. There's a couple who wanted to get a couple classes in before the holiday. And I said, fine. Since that money is already set and in, if they want to do that, I will, and you'll be able to meet them and see them next week. We're going to set up our times. Well, they're going to set up their times in the morning or afternoon or early evening, whichever one they want. But I'm telling everyone that, you know, if you want to come in the morning, it's going to be at a certain time. I'm not going to do what I've been doing, stretching myself thin and letting everybody have their own individual hours, or on the weekends their own individual 90 minutes, because that's just not productive. I'm teaching the same thing to one person at a time over and over, and I could just get them all together and do it all at once. As you know, the weekend classes are 90 minutes. And I have one today in about either 4 or 5. The guy shows up, sometimes he changes times depending on his schedule. He's from Phnom Penh. He shows up on the weekends to study with me and visit family he has here that he stays with. But you know, there's another weekender who basically does the same thing, but they have different schedules. So I'm teaching the same thing in each class, but it's 90 minutes for one, and then the same class, the same material, 90 minutes for the other. And, you know, that's 3 hours on Saturday and 3 hours on Sunday sometimes. And I told them to get together. Find a mutual time. Come to a compromise. I can get it all done at once, and that will be much better. So yeah, hopefully we'll have the first couple here before the holiday, and then after the holidays we have our first 4 based on the amount that you guys have raised so far. And if we can get that up even further, I'll be adding more students. So starting next month, we can start with as many students as possible. And as always, I really appreciate your support. And if you would go to the Road to 1000 page, grab the link for the mission page and share that around. That would be awesome. And like I said, I have an FAQ page. So if anyone has any questions about what's going on there, just visit the site. That's all I can tell people. Sometimes I'll post the link and I'll say visit the site for the details, and the first thing somebody does is say, what is this about? And I have to say visit the site for the details. Not that I'm trying to be mean, or I'm not trying to put anybody off, but I've already written the page so that I wouldn't have to explain the entire thing to each individual that wanted to donate. So I do appreciate it if you share that. And I know we're going to get there. I'm excited. And I thank you for all the great comments, being excited with me. This is going to streamline teaching and help even more people than you can think, as I mentioned in the last blog post I put up on that site, which was just earlier today. So if you haven't read it, go ahead, and it'll show you how much of a reach education has here. It's not just limited to the classroom in some cases. All right, so far we're lucky. No rain yet. Oh, you're gonna have to wait for Single Eyes. She got left behind. She's way over there. Fast, fast. There is going to be a United States Embassy is going to have a meeting here in Siem Reap. Normally they hold those in Phnom Penh where they are located, the main embassy. I got an email saying they are going to be doing a question and answer session along with updates on United States-Cambodia relationships, you know, politically and all that. And if you're a United States citizen with a U.S. passport, you can RSVP to attend. I'm waiting to hear back if I am able to, and I doubt it, but my question was, will I be able to record parts of the meeting? I think that might be something interesting for you guys. So I'm going to hear back. I'm waiting to hear back from them before I actually RSVP. I don't really have any questions, but it would be nice to get an update. See where our respective countries stand with each other. And like I said, it might be something interesting if you never been involved in anything like that before. Ooh, something does not smell good here. Trying to pinpoint the cause. I don't see anything. Just that one spot I passed through. Got a whiff. Something bad. I had a question. This was a while ago, but I don't know if I ever actually answered it, and I apologize if I didn't. I try to get to all of them as much as I can, but sometimes I forget. But it was about the workload for teaching here. You know, how much is expected of you for the money you make. And there are, generally, in most international schools, you're going to get paid the hours that you actually teach. That's going to be your paycheck. So if you're teaching at $10 an hour and you're teaching 5 hours a day, that's going to be $250 a week or $1,000 in a month. The time you spend doing your lesson plans, and some schools will want you to stay at the school and actually do the lesson plans because they need those to know what you're going to teach for the next day or for the week. So they want you to stay there after your classes, finish them up and turn them in before you leave and go home. Some schools have evening or sometimes weekend things that they are sponsors of and want to turn out, so they might require you sometimes to join those events on your weekend or days off, or sometimes in the evening. And sometimes there are meetings and things that they will hold during off hours when it's not school hours that you will have to attend. And all those things you will not be paid for in most cases. So for that $10 an hour, you're only getting that for teaching. Doing your lesson plans, no thank you. Doing your lesson plans, grading homework, parent-teacher conferences, all the extracurriculars they might want you to do. Staying after school to do paperwork or file your lesson plan, you know, all that stuff. Most of the time they do not pay you for that. but you are still expected as part of your job to do it. Just to give you an idea that if you're coming here to teach, you might run into that. Not all schools are like that, but a lot of them are. So it might be something you want to think about in your interview. If they're thinking about hiring you, those might be some questions you might want to ask in the interview. Will I have to stay after school to finish my lesson plans, or can I do them at home? Will I have to stay after school to grade papers? Do I have to stay inside the building to do that, or can I grade them at home and bring them back? Do I have to attend any extracurricular activities outside of my working hours? You can ask them that. I think it's important to ask those kind of questions so you don't go in. I think the reason a lot of people get grumpy about it after they've been hired is because they didn't bother to ask those kinds of questions in the first place, so they weren't aware of that. It's something they might not tell you up front. And that's not people don't ask out of ignorance. It's just something in the West, of course, we're not used to from our jobs. Imagine you had a job that paid you so much an hour and they said, you know, your job is done at 5, but you have to come back in from 6 to 7 or 6 to 7:30 and do these extra things, and we're not going to pay you for them. That's strange and weird to Westerners. We would say, no, that's not going to happen. But over here, it's a very common thing. So I just want you to be prepared for that. All right. I think that's all I had to say. I wanted to update you on the page. Wanted to give you that piece of advice if you're thinking about coming over here and teaching. And of course, if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will either answer you in the comments, and if it's something I haven't really covered before, I'll go ahead and put it in my next video or two. All my links are down below. The links to my Road to 1000 page are below. My other YouTube channel is below. Make Money with Dave, Senglai's cooking channel. Kamai Cooking with Senglai is below. All those links. And of course, all my social media stuff. It's all down below for you to do with what you want. All right, thank you guys again. You guys are great. I appreciate all of you for watching and subscribing and sharing and doing all the awesome things that what I like to tell people makes you the best subscribers in the world. And I actually have proof of that. That's not some bold claim. So, I will talk to you guys in the next one.